morning all, hope you're doing well. So yesterday's bulletin was really late because I had lots of questions, and I had questions all throughout the day and into the evening. So I was wondering if you did have questions, you could perhaps maybe keep it to like 5 or 10 questions. Having like 30, 40 questions, it's just it's a bit like a bombardment of my senses, and it can tire me out quite a lot. I had conversations going back and forth all day with lots of questions. So don't forget, I've made lots of videos as well, and the important thing to note is that we've got a new video for the QDB scores, so that's definitely worth checking out, and that should answer any questions you got. One of the questions I had in Telegram was why if we're in the bullish section and we're red on the long, well, it's simply because everything is treated equally, so that's how it goes. So really we should see greens up here, but if we have a red up here, we've got to remember that the shifting is more powerful than where we are now. The shifting tells us direction, so that's treated the same as that, that's treated the same as this and that, and the weekly open, daily opens, all treated the same, whether or not we're below the pivot or above it, it's treated the same. Everything is treated equally, okay? So just so you know, that's just a little summary about the QDB scores. So we can see AN is at the top, NC at the bottom, and we can look at the long, and they're really long, so price should be falling, and they're really short, so the price should be going up. So that's how it goes. AJ really moved this week, by the way. Okay, so that's that bit done. So if you do have questions, if you can maybe limit to 10 questions, that would be great. Doing 30 questions or 40 or 50 in one case, it was just ridiculous. So keep it to 10 questions if you can. So the risk calc, we are risk on at the big picture. The herd have sold over 24 hours. The technicals pumped, and so basically, for every one person buying, there's nearly 9 people selling indices. Right, so there's lots of bears left in the casino. So that's the spreadsheet taken care of. So we can go on to the trading station. And I was just saying on Discord is that I think we're going to have to retest the lows on gold because they've gone long, and so by going long, we should be falling basically. So it looked like it was going to rally and really go up to the highs, but it looks like they went along with that idea, and now they're getting punished. And so this one, I think, it's a bit of a tricky one to do. I think I mapped this. We'll just map this one. It's one of the three, but the thing is, the crossover happens over a period of a few hours. It doesn't happen instantly. So this is going to be a supply. Okay, so just so you know, and we can just click OK on that once it loads, and so we should be falling because of that logic. So so trouble is that you've got an idea about making some nice profits, and think, oh, I'm going to get a home run on this, and it doesn't, and it goes against you. And the trouble is that the sentiment does reverse. Unfortunately, things chop. So I got called out on dollar yen, but I had a 3R trade yesterday. I figured it might go to the moon. I figured it might get that weekend gap and close the gap, but it didn't. It came all the way down to my break even, so I won't be doing that again. What you'll need to do is that if you stipulated to stop and your reward is 3 times your risk, that's it. Just get out, because you can see how things are reversing and they're coming back down to your break even. Don't do that, because you're putting a lot of time and effort into your trading, and you want to be making profits. You don't want price to go up and then come back down. So it's just like, it's just like almost like a waste of time. So if you've got a 3R, you're prepared to risk 3 times what you're prepared to, your reward is 3 times what you're prepared to risk, then just get out and then re-enter, at the low or at the high if you're looking to sell. So it's all a case of just knowing when to exit, okay? And don't expect home runs, because you probably won't get them. So that's the gold. DAX is sideways. Well, it was sideways. Oh, they're going long ever so slightly. Yeah, just by like 0.5%. So if they're going long, we've got to be a little bit careful, okay? This is a technical break, and a buy scenario. So here would have been a good buy, 15,700 ish, 15,700, and that would have been quite a nice trade. So that's combining the technical and the sentiment. S&P, we don't need to fall on this because they're already selling, so we won't see any like theatrics of this. It will just continue higher, which would be nice. If they start going long, we'll start seeing that pantomime stuff where it's going to have to pretend that it's going to fall in order to flush those guys. So they can't be going long, they have to be selling. All right, and then we've got a doji here at the crossover, and so it doesn't need to fall currently, but if they start buying, then it will have to look like it's going to fall. Okay, so it's just that they really don't want the dumb money to be buying, because who's going to counter that trade? That should be fine. So we've got a doji here at the crossover. Okay, of note, and click OK. And the Dow Jones is a little bit more scary in so much as that they've gone long. So I think price is going to have to fall on the Dow Jones. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay between S&P and the Dow. So they've gone long, so we really shouldn't be coming up. So I think this candle here is bogus. All right, rectangle. Oh God, come on. And yeah, we can map this one. It's a tiny, tiny, thin resistance. So we should be below this box, basically. Okay. Yeah, that's roughly it, isn't it? Because they've gone long, we should be below that box. So to see how we go with that, be careful. It might be a good time to de-risk because we've got the CPI tomorrow, and things are going to be a roller coaster. If things are going to pump, it's likely going to pump in order to dump, because it's all about accumulation of positions, and then we've got the distribution of those positions. So it's going to be like a flush, all right, tomorrow. So be careful. And not only on Wednesday, we've got the PPI and ECB on Thursday. This is our current positions on the robot. We're looking for EU strength, which we might get. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. It has triggered quite a lot of trades. It triggered 2 here at the same time, which is slightly strange. We could probably argue it triggered 3. I have no idea why, so I have to investigate that. It might be a thing that might happen at at night, so I'm going to have to check that. It shouldn't have opened a triplicate trade there. I'm not sure why. I have to check that later tonight, and we'll just have to see how we go. And remember, this is technical only. Once we get like a string of profit, we're going to add some sentiment on top as a layer, and then it should be really, really good. So trade safely, especially tomorrow, and I'll be off tomorrow because I'm not trading the roller coaster CPI risk event. It's just too risky, and I'll be back Thursday, but I'll still be careful on Thursday because we've got ECB and PPI as well. So remember to be careful, know where your exit is, both stop loss and TP, and don't let it go all the way down to your break even. If you've got a 3R trade, take that profit, because it's probably likely going to come down and it's going to reverse. So know where your exit is, SL and TP, and you should be fine. And also know about your lot size as well. Don't be using large lot sizes if you've got a small account. All right, and that's it. So remember to trade safely. I'll speak to you guys soon.